lie, I'm a little bit happy the fact that Reece James and Jorginho are back, but I've got to admit it, I'm a bit worried about this particular match. There's still a bit of injury concerns going around, which we'll obviously talk about. West Ham, they're not going to be an easy game. It's time to burst some bubbles, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Another match. These matches are coming too thick and fast. Honestly, I'm worried about these players. Literally, we played on Wednesday night and now early kickoff on the Saturday. 2 days. I think Thomas Tuchel said it in the press conference. They've recovered the day after the match, Thursday, and then today on the Friday. I think they had a meeting in the morning and they're going to have a meeting in the evening. I don't know how much of a training they're going to be able to do before this match. And I think sometimes when the matches are so close, I don't even think it's all about recovery. I'm not even sure if they're actually training. It's more about how do we, set up against West Ham, and it's more about planning as opposed to let's go out there and train our backsides off. So look, it's going to be quite interesting how we play against West Ham in such a quick turnaround time. And similarly for West Ham as well, let's be honest. They played, I think, on the same day as us. But for this particular preview, let's start from the press conference. Let's start from players that are injured, players that are in. A couple of good news. First of all, Jorginho and Reece James, they're back. Timo Werner is back as well, which is also good news. I know I've been, a bit harsh on Timo in recent times. Not harsh. I think I've just been direct about it. And if I'm being honest, even if Timo Werner is fit for this particular match, I don't expect him to start up front. I don't know who he gets in front of. I don't know where he's going to provide the impact. There's quite a lot of players up front that are able to play in that role. So I'm not sure if he goes ahead of them. But Jorginho and Reece James, for me, are so important, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me a belief that at least we can go into this match not thinking it's going to be the same performance as Watford, because those two players, especially Jorginho in the middle of the park, is so crucial to control the game. I think we've realised against Watford that when Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic, none of them are there, it's craziness. There's no midfield. Bagel FC, they call it. It's a round circle in the middle, donut if you want to call it as well. There's nothing, and teams will outrun us over there. So it's good to have Jorginho back. He's going to get some control back, control the tempo, hopefully. It's not going to be easy against Declan Rice and Ziyech and West Ham. We're going to talk about their form, which isn't that great, but they're going to be up for it at home with those two in the pivot and all the other players that they have. Reece James as well provides goal threat, not just goal scoring situations, but assisting as well. So it's very important to have Reece James back, and not just that, defensively. And that engine, that physicality. I think, look, nothing against Azpilicueta, but when you have Azpi and Alonso, I think that's a bit too much, honestly. That's a bit of a handicap for us. And I don't want to take anything away from Azpi, but the truth of the fact is he's on the decline at the moment. He still provides us at least 7 out of 10 performances, but we need better in Chelsea Football Club. But I still want him to stick around. No disrespect towards Azpi, legend, club leader, but I definitely do want Reece James to play there because I'm expecting Alonso to play on the left side. With the players out, Kovacic, Chilwell, of course, long-term. Kante is still out, we need to have a proper discussion about Kante, ladies and gentlemen, very, very soon. I'll probably do a stream about this. I love him. He's a club legend as well. Superstar of a player, world-class player, but it's something that we need to talk about as to what is the solution with Kante, because he plays a game, injured, doesn't play for 3-4 games. Look, this isn't a new thing anymore. If you're going to sit there and tell me, Miz, you're being a bit harsh on Kante, he's not injury prone. No, he is injury prone. So what do we do next season? Can we have a player that only plays once a week? Perhaps we can, but what is the contingency plan? What can we do to bring in other players so that, we're not left in the mud like this right now? So Chilwell's gone. Kovacic is still injured, but there's some reports from Nizar Kinsella saying that he's possibly going to be back in about a couple of weeks' time. So that's great news. Probably in training, a couple of weeks' time in training, and then hopefully another 2 more weeks after that. So he's not going to feature in December, but in January possibly could come back. So Kante, Kovacic, Chilwell and Chalobah, of course, is still there. Chalobah, Thomas Tuchel said there still needs to be some scans that needs to happen to see how severe it is in terms of the injury of the hamstring. I think Chalobah is quite positive. He was commenting on social media and he's saying that he's quite positive he might be back. So let's hope Chalobah is back soon, but I still expect no Chalobah for the rest of December. I mean, it is still a hamstring injury. He needs to recover from it and then train again in high intensity. So possibly no games for him in December, but once again back in January. Thomas Tuchel talked about a few other important things. Hakim Ziyech, my boy, my habibi, Hakim Ziyech. And Thomas Tuchel actually said he likes this player a lot. He actually likes Hakim Ziyech a lot. And he once again reiterated that we need to understand that Hakim Ziyech, that shoulder injury, did affect him. It's not a coincidence that all of a sudden now, in the past few games, especially Leicester, Juve, Man United, it wasn't as bad as a lot of people are saying against Man United. In fact, it was probably one of the better ones. And then obviously coming off the bench against Watford, clutch winner. And Thomas Tuchel was saying that he's back. It seems like he's moving freely again. He's happy again. He's smiling again. And this is great news. Whether he starts or not for this particular match, we don't know. Maybe the impact of the bench could be another card that we could have in this particular match. But it's great news that Thomas Tuchel publicly coming out and talking the way he is for Hakim Ziyech. I think it's going to mean the world for him. And it means the world for me, ladies and gentlemen. I love Hakim Ziyech. And it's good to see him do well. And him doing well generally means Chelsea doing well. So next thing we want to talk about is Alonso. Thomas Tuchel was asked about the situation in the left wing back, and he's come out and said, ladies and gentlemen, Saul is an option. You guys all laughed at me when I was talking about Saul. Not all, some parts of you guys laughed at me. Has he played there? And I said, look, the characteristic of Saul and the way we play our wing backs, as Thomas Tuchel said, is midfielders. He fits that role. I know I've been so critical about Saul, and rightly so. He's been rubbish, if I'm being honest, in recent times, or whatever the chances he's been getting. But if he was to rectify his career somewhat, it has to be from the left side, in the left wing-back position. And let's be honest, as Thomas Tuchel said, we can't expect Alonso to play game in, game out in this month of December, and looks like Chilwell is not going to be around, not just December, most likely not in January if he doesn't need a surgery. It's very difficult to expect Alonso to play every single game, ladies and gentlemen. So we do need to have a backup option. And Saul, if you want to save your career, my man, this is it. This is it. And maybe on the left side, you're not going to be suffocated out. It's not going to be it's still going to be demanding, but it's not going to be extremely demanding as when you have to be in the middle. Because you've got to be quick. You've got to think so quick in the middle. You've got to build up the play. You've got to, connect defense to offense. Make sure you control the tempo of the midfielders. It can get very difficult. And this is why kudos to Jorginho and Kante and Kovacic and Ruben Loftus-Cheek as well, of the immense work that they do in midfield. So let's see what happens in the left wing-back position. We could possibly see Saul down the track. I don't expect him to play in this particular match, though, against West Ham. I think it's a bit too much of an ask for Saul to do in the left wing-back position. Let's have a look at West Ham scenario now, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go to the table. Chelsea, yes, top of the table, ladies and gentlemen. But if you can see the pattern, win, draw, win, draw, win. I'll let you decide what's going to happen next. Look, I don't want to follow that pattern. I hope it's a win for us. I definitely don't want a loss. And I don't want it to be a draw, in all honesty, because City and Liverpool are hot on our heels. City's on 32 points, Liverpool on 31 points, and they're on some hot form. Man City, and now they're building. They're building. 4 wins in a row. You can feel it, what they're trying to do. They could probably go for 10, 12, 13, 15 wins in a row. Liverpool as well, 3 wins in a row, and they're building as well. So we've got to be very cautious as to, we got to pick up these points, because I can't imagine Liverpool and City dropping points from here on in for a while. They're getting serious now. They're building for the season. West Ham, however, ladies and gentlemen, 2 losses and a draw. They're not in the best of form. They're going to try their level best to turn this around. You know that. They're pushing for that 4th spot. I think this season it's clear. Top 3. These are the 3 top dogs, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool. Look at the goal differences. 27, 21, 31. and then it's 8, -3, -4, and it's in the mud. The difference between the top 3 and the rest of the league is just incredible. So for me, it's the top 3, and then everyone else fight for top 4. Everyone else, literally can be everyone else fighting for top 4. Pretty much West Ham, Arsenal, Tottenham, Man United, Wolves, Brighton, Leicester, Crystal Palace. Probably not Crystal Palace, but Leicester. Yeah, it's going to be an absolute dogfight for the 4th place. So West Ham's going to try their level best to be in and around that particular mix. Let's have a look at West Ham's situation. Draw against Brighton, loss against City. They had a pretty good win in Europe against Rapid Wien, 2-0. Loss against Wolves, big win for Wolves. Let's have a look at the team they put out against Brighton. Fabianski in the goals, Kufal, Dawson, Zouma, there you go, Zouma. Reunion between Declan Rice and Mason Mount, 2 friends coming together. And then obviously Kurt Zouma, ex-Chelsea player, massive. And he's going to have a point to prove. He had quite a few things to talk about in the social media as well. He's excited, but at the same time, he wants to beat us. So do check out his comments from the West Ham website. But yeah, Ziyech and Declan Rice in the middle, Bowen, Fornals, Benrahma. It's a good team, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good team, and we cannot disrespect them one bit. Let's go straight to our team selection. This is where it gets very exciting. Meanwhile, before we do this, ladies and gentlemen, take the moment to like, subscribe, comment, share the lot. If you've been enjoying this channel, which I know you have, the comments are absolutely peaking at the moment in the channel. The recent video that's gone mad. I think over 150 plus comments, which is crazy. Please smash the like button, comment your backsides off for this particular one. We're going to start doing the lineup, ladies and gentlemen. For me, other than Mendy was unbelievable for us against Watford. Honestly, the last time he was like that clutch for us was against Brentford, and it was Brentford best again against Watford. Without him, I think we would have been dead. Rudy, undoubtedly, I know he needs rest, but maybe Malang Sarr can play one of the cup games coming up soon in the Carabao Cup. But Rudy, I can't drop him. I can't drop him. And I think physically, Rudy is he can manage. He can play a lot of games. He's not shy to play a lot of games. So I want to keep backing him. Silva has to play. I know you're going to tell me, Miz, he's played a lot of games, but he has to play this game, ladies and gentlemen. Has to. We're playing against a quality opposition in the likes of Antonio, Benrahma, Fornals, Bowen, Ziyech, Declan Rice. I need Thiago Silva. Zouma in the back as well. I need Thiago Silva. I need all the experience. I need all the know-how. I need a person who can think quicker. I need Silva. Andreas Christensen has to be at RCB. Has to. There's no Chalobah. He's injured. And Aspie's not been playing in that position this season anyway. He's been playing in the wings. For me, it's Christensen. He was probably one of our best defenders against Watford. It was flawless for me. I don't think he did anything wrong against Watford. In fact, it was quite impressive. For me, he comes back, and I hope he gets that contract situation sorted ASAP. Reece James, ladies and gentlemen, pencil him down. He's one of the first ones in the team sheet. Pencil him down. We need his quality from that right side, not just attackingly, defensively, that physicality, much needed. He's probably one of those players that's going to be physical, and he's going to bring that impetus back to us, ladies and gentlemen. Look, as much as whatever we want to think about, Alonso plays, ladies and gentlemen, in the left wing back position. It's too much for Saul for this game, maybe Saul for the next game. But let's hope Alonso can be resolute in defense, can be somewhat quick in the build-up, and can provide something up front. He provided something up front against Watford, so kudos to him about that. And let's hope that he can have a total package of a game. I really, really hope so. It'll be interesting to see what West Ham does. Do they attack that side like Watford did? So we'll see what happens over there. I hope Alonso is awake and is up to the challenge, because Bowen is going to be there. Antonio is going to give him a hard time as well if Antonio wants to drift to the left side. For me, Jorginho, this is undoubtedly one of the positions we need. This maestro, this magical midfielder, this conductor to play for us, the professor. He needs to play. He's back, he's fit, they're training. He has to play in the middle, or else we lose all sorts of shape in the middle. He needs to play. And the build-up with these three ballers at the back is crucial. We need Jorginho to connect from defense to midfield to offense. Much needed. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, there is no other option. Kante is injured. Kovacic is injured. Chalobah is injured. Saul is probably not going to get a show here. Ross Barkley, you may ask, but I may have him off the bench if we need it. But Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I know he's been playing a lot of games, but he's going to have to continue. And the thing I want to put down a marker for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He was passive against Man United, and first half against Watford, he was not good one bit. Second half, when Chalobah went in as a lone DM, he was a lot better, looked a lot freer. But as soon as Chalobah got injured, he had to move down deep. He did a job. I want him to really take over. I don't want him to be passive. I want him to exert himself. I want him to take over this match. Really look up for the challenge against Declan Rice and Ziyech. This is it, my man. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, it's the time to impress. You cannot sort of shy away in these sort of matches, not like you did against Man United. You need to take control. And who better to do that against Declan Rice and Ziyech? I want him to do that. Up front, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be a bit of a scenario. You may ask, Lukaku, look, I think he's going to come off the bench again. I'm not completely sure whether he's ready to start yet. I think we've seen we can't be pushing players like Ziyech, we've recently seen. Let's ease Lukaku through. I don't know if he was completely free against Watford. He looked okay, but I don't know if he was strong enough to start. And that's why he didn't start against Watford. And I think Thomas Tuchel in the press conference has been hesitant as well to talk about Lukaku, whether he's completely ready to start. Havertz played really well, especially that second half. He played really well. Obviously produced that assist for Mason Mount. I want Havertz to start. I think that momentum needs to be carried on. If he can continue with that impact from the second half specifically, is going to be a bit of a challenge for West Ham. And I think he's going to relish the fact that Zouma is there. I want him to start. I really want him to start. This is where it gets a bit complicated. Mason Mount has to start. He scored the goal, he's assisted, and his energy is immense. I want him to thrive playing against his mate Declan Rice. Obviously, that's going to be a story, huge story. We can't hide away from that. I want him to start. But which side do I want him to start? I'm not really sure, because the other factor is, do I want Hakim Ziyech to start? Is he good off the bench? It's going to be, and then the other factor is Callum Hudson-Odoi. Look, I think for this match, and look, we can go either way. The way I'm thinking is, I want the directness of Callum Hudson-Odoi on the left side. I think Pulisic, he can take a bit of break. I think it was a heavy game against Watford. He played on the right wing-back position, worked a lot, maybe relax. It's only been 2 days in between. Callum is fully fit. He's ready to go. He's been playing well. He took that break against Watford. Let's bring Callum on, fresh legs. Let's have him on. And on the right side, Mason Mount, undoubtedly for his performance against Watford. And he's going to be up for the fight. We need someone who's going to be physically up for the fight, and he's going to be ready. And I'm going to put a marker down here that Ziyech will definitely feature off the bench. And I'm not going to be surprised if Pulisic features as well off the bench. I think his pace and the electricity both Ziyech and Pulisic are going to bring off the bench is going to be quite magnificent, and I think can catch West Ham out. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's my team. Mendy, Rudiger, Silva, Andres Christensen, Alonso, Jorginho, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Reece James, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Mason Mount, Havertz to start. Pulisic, I'm going to bring in Lukaku off the bench. Pulisic, Lukaku, Ziyech, possibly off the bench. I can picture this, unless obviously something crazy happens in midfield or in defense. Hopefully it doesn't. Ladies and gentlemen, hoping for a victory away from home. Need to bust the bubbles. Need to get the hammer and just hammer the West Hams. I'm hoping for a 1-0, 2-1, 2-0. Please, please. We need to win. West Ham's not going to be easy. I'm not going to disrespect them. Let me know what your thoughts are, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think the score prediction is going to be? Do you like my team? What would you change? If not, let me know. Let me know all your comments about this particular match, and let me know your feelings moving into this match, what it means. And all the different matchups. Declan Rice, Mason Mount, our pivot versus their pivot, Zouma coming back, and a whole heap of other matchups that's going on. Until next time, everyone, if you've enjoyed this video, smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content, and make sure you're there for the watch along. It's going to be a cracker, ladies and gentlemen.